The title of this podcast is Achieving Inner Freedoms. This is inspired by a friend who I just met recently. He had been away for a while and he was dealing with some challenges. And I think that he understood that most of what he was experiencing was of his own making. What I love about the experience is that he wasn't blaming anyone for outside of himself, and that he did what he needed to do to deal with the consequences of his actions or his choices. And during that, almost year-long period, he really developed a practice to really work on himself. And it has been so inspiring. And he shared this quote with me from a movie, and the movie was called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And the quote says, "To achieve inner freedoms, learn to let go." And I can think of how poignant this is to my own life experience. One of the things that I was really mired in, that I was in the grip of, was resentment. And it was directed toward my stepfather for the childhood that I grew up in. And I carried a lot of resentment and hate toward him. And as a result, it was impacting all of my relationships, mostly in ways that I was unaware of. I wasn't open, I wasn't vulnerable, I was very secretive about the way that I grew up. Anyone who reminded me of my stepfather or his behaviors I had a immediate judgment about the person without even knowing them. And this was my life. It didn't allow me to be close to anyone really. And when I went to a seminar back in 2007, it was the first time that I experienced something that was going to help me let go of the upset and resentment that I had toward my stepfather. And through that 3-day workshop, I let it go. And what happened? Just like the quote, inner freedom. Another word is inner peace. That's what I experienced. So I encourage you to, whatever you're holding on to, I don't care what it is, let it go. If you don't know how to let it go, find someone who has experienced something that you would find impossible to move past, and ask them to show you the way. It could be unfaithfulness in a relationship, to where for you, it would have made you have resentment to your former partner, or your current partner. It would have you not trusting other people moving forward. All those things are contrary to inner freedom, to inner peace. And it also limits your capacity to live with an open heart and love people. But find someone who has experienced that and that they've let go. They have an amazing relationship with their significant other or former significant other. They are just loving and kind and trusting of other people in life. Find them. And so that's just one example. And I'm sure you can think of many in which, areas of your life in which you can let go so you can experience inner freedoms and or inner peace. I've done that, and it's like a game changer. Oh, here's a trivial example right here. On the pickleball court earlier in the week, I was playing because I want to get more gameplay. And we were playing with a guy who has a reputation for making poor line calls. And so my partner and I both hit balls in which we thought very confident those balls were in, and the guy would call out immediately, even before the ball actually landed. And I remember Keith 1.0 getting worked up inside, and I was about to ruin this entire experience. I actually said, I can't play with this guy. I'm not playing with this guy again. I'm like, who does that? A 5-year-old? We're playing a child's game. And so I had to walk up the court, get myself together, and I thought about, like, I gave him my inner peace over the guy calling the line call. Like, come on, be better. And so for something as trivial as that to something that's even more seemingly more significant, like in a relationship, um, let it all go. It's all the same thing and has the same impact. It can really compromise your experience of life and it can close your heart. So I encourage you to live with an open heart, to experience more inner freedom, more inner peace. And one of the ways to do that is to let it go.